Welcome to the Fast Mode Studios. I'm Tara Neil, and with me today is John Denemark, Senior Vice President, Carrier Provisioning at TransUnion. TransUnion is a global information and insights company with over 13,000 associates operating in more than 30 countries. The company's carrier provisioning division focuses exclusively on the communication industry, serving hundreds of carriers, including major mobile, wireline, cable, and VoIP providers. Leveraging 30 plus years of order management expertise, it has designed an end-to-end wholesale order management solution that modernizes how service providers buy and sell connectivity and automates many of the legacy processes that are part of day-to-day operations. John has extensive experience in product management, operations development, service delivery, customer care, and professional services. John joins us today as part of our annual Trends and Outlook segment, where we discuss the key trends shaping 2025. Welcome, John. Great to have you on today's show.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get started. First off, what trends do you foresee in the wholesale network connectivity space this year? Will we see increased demand from growing SD-WAN and SASE adoption?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me here today. And look, it's a great question. And I think the answer is yes. And because I think we will continue to see the increased demand for SD-WAN and SASE services, including network as a service. A lot of work is being done by CSPs around the world on these services. And that's because the demand is there. And it's being driven by, a number of different trends in the industry, including hybrid work and 5G and IoT, edge and cloud computing, and a host of other, I would say, technological and societal advances. And then, of course, the carriers have to meet their enterprise customer expectations, which means that they need to provide ubiquitous coverage for the applications that their customers depend on, no matter where those customers are located. And I think this is creating greater demand for the underlay networks, such as broadband services. And it also means that the service provider system requirements are getting more complex. And that leads to some additional operational challenges around staff expertise, potentially leading to some additional and new types of errors, and of course challenges around safeguarding customer experience.
So great, that sounds exciting. So on a similar note, in your experience, what are some of the biggest challenges faced by both buyers and sellers of off-net connectivity? And moving forward, how can these be addressed?
Yeah, sure. Another great question. So while the front end of the business is promising enterprise customers new and innovative and faster services via advanced technologies, what we see is when it comes to delivering those services, especially in the area of wholesale connectivity, the backend systems are still operating with outdated legacy systems and manual processes. And that creates operational bottlenecks and inefficiencies. So for example, many CSPs still rely on emails and phone calls to manage the critical wholesale ordering functions. And that leads to issues, including with order errors and lack of communication between carriers and lack of knowledge on where network assets reside. And this all results in a lot of rework, potentially some long delivery timeframes and long repair timeframes and higher operational costs. It's today's world is on demand, but the underlay circuit ordering still takes on average about 60 to 90 days to be installed. So I think, moving forward, these issues need to be addressed, and they are being addressed through process and order standardization and API-based systems that enable automation between carriers. and support the retirement of some of these legacy standalone systems. And we've been at the forefront of addressing this and bringing streamlined and simplified and solutions that support automation to the industry. Because bottom line is automation is good in this space. And it leads to operational efficiency, greater productivity, cost savings, overall better customer experience. All of this goodness is supported by automated solutions, and I think that's kind of where we shine.
All right. Okay. Now let's dive into TransUnion's offerings in this area. So can you tell us more about your TruContact order management solution?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for asking about that. And look, we've been in the business more than 30 years, helping service providers optimize their back office systems and their processes. Um, Supporting faster service delivery and just overall happier customers. Now, our solution suite covers both voice services and network services. On the voice services side, we provide hosted automation solutions to our customers that help them manage their telephone number inventory and the porting of voice services more effectively. And on the network services side, we help service providers more efficiently order network services between themselves on a wholesale basis. This is the whole connectivity underlay discussion, right? Um, and then in addition to the automated solutions, we offer both managed services and professional services as a way to further optimize the service provider back office. Um, There's still many legacy operational functions on both the portability and wholesale network access ordering side that the service providers continue to support. But they're losing staff in these areas and the knowledge that comes with it. And they're beginning to, there's some shortage of resources in those areas. Because we've seen over the last decade or so, we've seen a lot of folks leave the telecom industry, and where they're being replenished is not necessarily in these areas. Everybody coming in, everybody new coming in, they want to work on AI, they want to work on IoT, they want to work in some of these exciting areas, and they're not necessarily clamoring to work on portability or the wholesale, network ordering space. And that's where we have a number of folks that are very knowledgeable in these areas. We have hired from the telecom industry over the last few decades. We've developed our own knowledge base, and we have a really great ability to support these areas for on behalf of our customers. So we can help streamline order processing, consolidate systems. We've got a lot of subject matter expertise in these areas that enables our customers to streamline their operations, cut cost, and safeguard the customer experience.
Amazing. So, shifting gears a bit, as interoperability becomes more important, how does TransUnion address standardization and interoperability challenges in wholesale telecom operations?
Right. So on the wholesale side, we're actually one of the pioneers of interoperability in this space. We have been and we continue to be, active participants in industry organizations that are working to standardize the way the industry operates. And we've built a platform that streamlines this area, the entire order management process for both the buyers and sellers of Ethernet and broadband services. So the platform is called Universal Order Connect, or UOC for short, and it is the only end-to-end wholesale order management solution in the industry that modernizes how service providers buy and sell connectivity. And the reason we can do this, and the reason that this is such an advanced solution is a couple of things. So UOC supports simplified ordering, and advanced order enrichment capabilities via a product catalog-based translation engine. Um, and so what that means for our customers is that we can support all types of API standards that facilitate the doing business with each other. We can support ASOG, we can support MEF standards, TM forum standards, even proprietary broadband standards, making it easy for our customers to do business with each other, regardless of their API preference or their system workflows. And but wait, there's more. So we can also automate the entire end-to-end process. So just to give you an example here is if you're a seller of Ethernet or broadband using UOC, what you can do with UOC is you can provide serviceability and quoting out to your customers or buyers, right? You can accept orders, access orders via API or GUI, and via virtually any standard that your customers want to use. You can provide a shared online portal that keeps your customers on the same page with your service delivery teams. Provide enhanced status updates, up-to-date circuit inventory, analytics and reporting, as well as including a detailed view of each step of the process. So that's a set of really advanced capabilities that we bring to bear on our customers' behalf. And we've seen great success in the industry and with our customers in terms of just streamlining that whole process and preventing order errors, lowering the operational costs, improving response times, and just safeguarding that customer experience.
Interesting. So another key focus area this year, as you know, is automation. So how is TransUnion leveraging automation to help CSPs eliminate operational bottlenecks and improve efficiency across back office processes, particularly in areas like order management and number portability?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned just a little bit earlier here, so we do have a number of automation solutions to assist our customers in these areas, both on the voice side and the network side. We just talked about UOC, the Universal Order Connect, that supports automation in the wholesale management space, and it allows service providers to simplify and automate in two major areas. One is the inter-carrier workflows, or how they do business with each other, and that's what I just talked about. And then also their intra-carrier workflows, meaning their internal order management processes. That's, in order to, and that's crucial because in order to get the benefit of that inter-carrier workflow simplification and automation, the carriers also need to look at their own internal BSS stack and their internal ability to automate. And that's where UOC can also help, because we have the functionality built in that can either replace or supplement some of those legacy systems and stitch them together to support automated internal processes for the order management. So then we truly have an end-to-end automation capability there. So that's the wholesale piece. Now on the voice services side, we have a number of different solutions that help our customers simplify and automate in a couple different areas. One is TN inventory management, and the other area is the inter-carrier porting process. And so I don't think we have time for me to go into all of it, so I'll just give an example in the porting
Yep.
area. We provide a solution called Enhanced Service Request, again, ESR for short. We like those three-letter acronyms. That provides a single interface to all domestic and Canadian carriers for portability purposes, and many international carriers as well. And the ESR solution supports a simplified and more automated porting process. And in fact, we support wireline, porting, wireless, toll-free, domestic, international, residential, small business, enterprise, and government portability, all via the same interface. So that significantly reduces the complexity of portability operations for our customers. And because there's just one integration to us, and then we fan out to all of their trading partners, and we help that automate, again, that intercarrier process. And then we wrap managed services around it that include fallout resolution, because there's always, even though we streamline it, we help automate it and all of that, there's still data issues, there's still fallout, there's still SLA management that needs to happen. And we provide those managed services on our customers' behalf. And again, so that we reduce the complexity, we mitigate these errors, we help to resolve those errors, get to portability activation faster, so that shortens the time to revenue. And it does, again, support and safeguards the customer experience.
Interesting. So, as you know, our Trends and Outlook segment this year zooms in on the use of generative AI in telecoms and enterprise networks. How, in your opinion, will generative AI transform order management processes within the telecom industry?
Right. So we do see that AI will eventually have a big impact in this area on the order management processes. For example, in evaluation of orders, in error resolution, in workflow management, and even AI-based agents. So we do think that this area will be fertile ground for AI-based solutions, and in fact, we're actively investigating a number of these. However, a lot of the back office work still needs to happen to make this a reality, primarily related in two areas: data quality and automation. Again, and so we all know garbage in, garbage out, and in that spirit, for the CSPs to fully harness the capabilities here, they have to ensure that the right tools and processes are in place for maintaining accurate and up-to-date data across the organization. Obviously, feeding the right data and accurate data into AI will result in better outcomes. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. And then in terms of automation between the systems, the AI is not really going to work when you've got manual processes and where you've got disconnected systems that don't talk to each other. So we still need to work on that in that area of automating that internal BSS stack to help create automated workflows, automated data processes that can then you can then build your ATI capabilities on top of that clean data and on top of that automation. And so ultimately, again, that's going to drive the goodness that we all want, continuing to improve efficiencies, continuing to improve the cost profile, and continuing to safeguard the customer experience.
Brilliant. Well, I guess we covered a lot of ground there on this topic, and indeed very interesting insights that you shared with us today. So we are at the end of our session. So thank you, John, for joining us and for sharing your insights on the wholesale connectivity market, on automation, and also the segment's outlook for next year.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the time, and I just want to tell all of your listeners, you can reach out to me at any time at john.denemark@transunion.com, and would be happy to continue the conversation. Thank you again.
Okay. And to everyone tuning in, thank you for listening. To learn more about TransUnion's TruContact order management solution, like what John said, you can email him or visit www.transunion.com at solution@TruContact at order management. We'll have the link in the video description. And do follow us for more updates and insights as we continue to uncover the latest in technology and telecommunications. See you in our next session.